Hi, hello everyone. Just want to welcome everyone to the house of Talk About Life. And all of us are now tuning into this very special series that we have. It's about the pandemic. And you know, the whole world is the same right now. We're all in the same boat. We are all fighting an invisible enemy. And no matter where you are, Asia, Europe, America, Africa, we're all fighting the same battle. So it's very timely for us to record and document this time of history of mankind, whereby the world has become one. So this is the theme and the principle and the tenet of my series of Pandemic in Your Country. I would like my guests to explain the country's policies and the country lockdown situation, and particularly in reference to yourself, how the family and how the community reacted and prepared and sustained through the lockdown, and how the government implemented the policies of the pandemic, and also how the people in general in the country reacted to that. And then also I would like my guests to talk about the current situation and the numbers. So without further ado, and on this very important theme of mankind today in November, today is 10th of November 2020, and you know, this pandemic has been 11 months, and I don't think anybody would have thought that it would have lasted this long. And I don't think many people would have thought that, hey, we are still in it, and we are still trying to unravel and find out what's happening and what's going to happen next. So today, without further ado, I'm going to invite my guest, Precious from Nigeria, and he's going to talk about the pertinent issues, the situation of the pandemic in his country, in the community, the government policies, and how the community reacted, and what's the situation now, and what does he foresee the situation of Nigeria is going to be. Welcome to Talk About Life, Precious. Please introduce yourself to the world. Tell us about yourself and tell us where you come from. Say hello.
Thank you very much, Vicky, for having me. I'm so excited to be in your podcast to talk about the pandemic, how it has been in Nigeria, and how the government has been able to handle it and the rest. Thank you, Vicky, for having me. I so much appreciate. My name is Precious from Nigeria. Nigeria is a country in Africa, so it's such a great country because it's one of it's often regarded as the largest country in Africa, both in population, and we have over 200 million people in population, and it's fast growing in economy and all that. So I currently live in Delta State. Delta State is a state, one of the states in Nigeria. We have over 36 states in Nigeria. So thank you very much, Vicky, once again for having me in your podcast, talk about the pandemic in Nigeria.
Yeah, and I want to thank you. You know, I don't think a lot of us have a lot of news from Africa. Whatever we're reading is from international news. It's very hard for us to find local news. So what we are doing now, because of the technology, we are able to connect with each other and to directly tell the world our situation, right? And we have the opportunity right now to tell the world without any news media, or we can't even wait for the news to come to us. You know, by the time the news comes to us, it's going to be so late, isn't it? So I
Yes,
think real
yes.
time is important to capture a documentation for now, and that's for eternity because the internet world is going to be forever. So I would like Precious to tell us um, how did the pandemic came to the country? From the last, how many months, 8 months, 10 months, or even 11 months. How did the first cases come? Tell us a bit about the history and tell us a bit about the policy and then the lockdown. If your country had a lockdown.
Okay. Thank you very much, Vicky. All right. So the first case we had in Nigeria started from February 27th. That was when the first confirmed case was recorded in Nigeria. It was recorded by, it was seen in a man, an Italian man that worked in Nigeria. So he traveled to Italy. On his way coming back, probably he contacted the coronavirus there in Italy.
Okay.
Probably then he came back. It's 7th of April. Can you hear me?
Okay, let me go a bit slower. So on the 7th of February, you got your first case. And this person actually works in the
27th of February.
7th of February. And he worked in,
27th of February.
okay. He actually worked in the mine because he traveled to Italy, then he came back. Am I right? Okay. Please
Yes,
continue.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I got it right.
Okay, so when he returned from Italy to Nigeria, on the airport precisely, that's Murtala Mohammed Airport there. So they were able to, detect that the man already contracted the coronavirus. So he was, they took him and tested him, and it was seen that he had a coronavirus. That was on the on the 26th. He was then transferred to an isolation center in Lagos. That was the very first case we had in Nigeria.
Then how did it spread, the situation?
Okay, so after the first confirmed case, the one of the man that came back from Italy. So we later had another case in one of the states, Ogun State particularly, and a man also tested tested positive. A
Another man
man
tested
also tested
positive.
positive to the virus. So, as at that time, the awareness was not already rampant. Though we know about coronavirus and the spread, but then it was not, the case has not really been seen as a serious threat to the country and so many other countries like that too. So it was really taken to something to be, light. So then many people were not really taking precautions and measures about the virus. So it was spreading in a way. So when the second case was confirmed in Ogun State, so then there were already a little awareness about the virus and the strength of it spreading and all that. There are already advices from medical team and all that. So precautions was already being put in place to spread the information on how the virus could spread and all that. So by then a lot of people must have come in contact with all these people that has contacted it from the very first time. So then it started spreading like that, and there were so many other cases that was confirmed in different parts of the country and all that.
Wow. So that time, because there wasn't a lot of information and people were not taking it seriously, how did the government react? Was the government also relaxed, or the government took it seriously at that time? At what time did the government
Yeah,
became very strong in the policy? At which date?
yes, the government took it serious because the when there was new confirmed cases, there are other cases, new cases were being confirmed in several parts of the country. So then the government had to, take it serious and, start implementing new laws to, protect its citizens. Then I remember them, placing a travel ban into some other countries and restricting people from entering into Nigeria, and also restricting people from leaving the country. So then the government was already seeing it as a national threat, because even the news and all that we are hearing from other parts of the world, like US, UK, Italy, Russia, and so many other places. So they were already taking it serious, like knowing that the virus was not just something, because initially many people thought that the virus was just came one of all these diseases or something like that that just came and just happens to just come, do one or two things, affect one or two, and just go like that. But there were serious issues arising from it, about it, and not just Nigeria, but so many other parts of the world. So government was already implementing measures then to protect its citizens. Even the Central Disease Control, the CDC, the one in charge.
Yeah. Can I stop you for a while? I want to ask, can you hear me?
Charge of Nigeria, the NCDC, you are already collaborating.
Yeah. Uh, Precious, I want to ask you, can you tell us more specific the dates? Like at which date, around what month, the borders of Nigeria start to close? Start to stop people from coming or
Oh,
going out. And then at what
that
date
that
the government try to become serious about it? At which month was that?
okay, that was towards March,
March.
between yes, towards March, late March. I can't really recall the exact particular date, but towards March, they start to make implementations about all those all other policies and all that to protect the citizens.
So, and also the World Health Organization chief is actually from Africa also, right? So whatever he said, you all took the people took it more seriously because he declared it as a world pandemic. Does that make a difference because he was also from Africa?
Yes, because when the whole issue of a pandemic came, we started seeing, we started hearing about new confirmed cases and all that, and more informations and awareness were being put in place by the World Health Organizations and other health organizations like CDC and the rest. So the people were already taking it serious then, because we are seeing it as something that has become a threat, so nobody wants to be the victim. So everybody was already, taking measures not to be the one to be taken to isolation center, not to be the one to, get coronavirus and all that. So people were already taking it serious then.
So can I ask you, at that time when people start taking it seriously, what were the numbers at that time?
Okay, so I can't really let know the exact figures, but though it can, so many news carried it, but there's a particular state in Nigeria, that's a Lagos state particularly, because that was where the first uh, case of coronavirus was recorded, and being that is a place, is a part of the country that was so populated, and it's attracted both foreign people and all that. So that was the place that was more, there was more confirmed cases in the state particularly compared to all other states. I
Or the
can't
other
really
states?
lay in figures, but there was huge numbers.
So what kind of measures, because you did talk about the government uh, put in precautions and measures, right? So what does that include? Does it include the law that says it is a must to wear your mask, social distancing? Could you explain some of the important policies that was rolled out?
Yes, yes. So when the whole coronavirus issue in Nigeria started rising,
Yeah,
new cases was being confirmed, and
yeah.
people are testing positive to the virus. So the government started implementing policies, having to work hand to hand with the WHO, with the CDC. So the president had to set in a task force called the Presidential Task Force for COVID-19 case. So they were, they were putting up policies such as being directed by the WHO. You know that the WHO, recommended that haven't done their researches. They recommended that they should, the people should put on their masks. There should be social distancing. There should be, sanitizing of hands and all that. So, they were recommending it and taking it really serious, ensuring that the citizens adhere to the policies, adhere to the WHO recommendations of self-isolation, sanitizing, hand sanitizing.
So can I ask you, how did the people react? Were the people panic? Were they
Yes,
very
and all
afraid?
other that.
Yeah. And did they try to also practice all these measures? Can you tell me how's the people's feeling at that time? Was there a lot of fear in the country? Or were the people was like, okay, how did your family react? Your family, yourself?
Okay, yes, scared. A lot of people were scared. People were reacting not just to the fact that the coronavirus was increasing in daily in number, but when the initial lockdown was placed, that of people staying indoors, there was highly people reacted towards it, because at first we all thought that it's something that was going to take a few months, probably weeks or so, but along the line we started seeing that the whole issues was becoming serious. There was an increase in there was a daily increase as to people that was confirmed uh, testing positive to this virus. So people were actually reacting very, 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 very negatively towards it. Coupled with the fact that, people had to stay indoors, their jobs, they didn't have to go about their daily jobs and all that. So people had to stay indoors. So there was really reactions towards it as to
Mm.
there was no kind of
So when, yeah,
opportunity to
when
now
you,
go on
yeah,
doing businesses, all that.
when you say people react negatively, can you give me specific examples? Maybe your friends, your family. Give us a few different kinds of reaction.
Yes, the reactions that people made about it was, just uh, verbal reactions. If I have to use the word, like people, started talking about, though they understand the fact that the government is trying their best, to handle the whole case and put the virus to an end. So people were just, having been told to stay at home. So
Yeah.
many people, businesses had to close and all that. So nobody will like the fact that they ask them to stay at home and
Yeah.
just doing nothing and all that. So people normally will feel bad about it.
Yeah. Yeah. What about yourself? How did you feel? Tell us about what went on emotionally and mentally with you at that time.
Yes, because myself particularly, I bad in a way because then we didn't know that the whole virus is going to take that much. And we thought it was going to be a few weeks and all that. So we didn't get to know. I particularly, I didn't get to see my friends, some of my family, that traveled to some other parts of the country,
Yeah.
and these whole issues happened. So they got to. It was as if they were trapped there. You understand? So they didn't get to come back to their family, and they were just restricted to where they traveled to. So we didn't get to see them. So it was just a terrible experience for all us
Terrible
all over
experience.
here.
Yeah. Did the people go to the streets to protest? Would that be extreme cases whereby people went out to the street? Was there very strong anger also?
Yes, at first, when the whole issues of pandemics happened, when people were asked to, self-isolate, stay at home, businesses had to shut down, and schools had to close down.
Schools
So
had to
several
close.
things in the country, so several things in the country was on shutdown and all that. So at first, people, were just, bearing the whole pain and loss. The businesses, there was no
So can I ask,
profits and all that. So at first, people just
when your government says a lockdown, did they say specifically how long the lockdown? Did they say, oh, you were staying for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Was there a very well defined time for the lockdown?
yeah, yeah. At first when the first confirmed case at first when the first confirmed case was recorded in Nigeria. So the prayer before locking down the country, there was a message. There was a message that but they just gave, like, for instance, for schools that was on lockdown. At first they gave them a notice of a 1 month lockdown notice, that okay, probably before this 1 month things would have changed or so. But as time goes on, the whole case started taking new dimensions. So it was definitely not the government's fault, because nobody knew it was going to take that other dimensions and all that.
Yeah. So how long was the lockdown in total? How many weeks in total?
So the very the I think particularly by June, the first the government had to relax the
Relax.
lockdown. So okay,
Okay.
yes, they relaxed the lockdown. It was not as severe as it was before. So people can actually, not everybody generally, but some important parts of the several organizations like hospitals and some essential businesses and movements was allowed in the country. That was the first, I think at June 1st, the government had to
June 5th.
relax the lockdown a bit.
I see. Okay.
June
So
1st,
yeah, yeah. June the 1st. So you all came out from the lockdown. So um, what's the situation now in November, like today? Tell us the situation in your country in terms of the pandemic situation and in terms of the economic reopening.
uh, is not really as bad as it is then during March, June, July, all those other months and all that. So now currently businesses are allowed and movements are allowed, people are allowed to go about their daily businesses, but on taking precautions. I understand. So on taking preventive measures of putting on face masks,
Yeah,
hand
putting on this.
sanitizing, and social distancing. So people are allowed to move on this very
Yeah, yeah, okay. So
basis.
yeah,
So talking about the economy,
for the economy, was there was the economy and the business being hit? Were there workers being retrenched? Were there businesses that has to collapse and close down?
yes,
Can you describe?
and some private sectors, businesses had to close down, and those people, lost their jobs and all that. So even some salaries of workers had to delay because the
Delay.
economy of the country was already affected. So there was delay in payment of workers, government workers, and all that. So there was actually, it affected people individually and businesses also.
So the government, did they come up with um, giving out money to workers and businesses? Was there such economic policies to help the economy in Nigeria?
Yes, there was during the whole processing, the some private organizations and private individuals, had to set up an organization called COVID. So it was an organization set up. It was like an emergency organization that was set up to actually, think of the possible ways to reach out to several businesses that has been
Research
affected
businesses.
by this lockdown, not just businesses, but individuals. So the organizations was made up of banks, private sectors, individuals in the countries that, billionaires and all that. So they had to, make series of donations, both monetarily, people were giving out billions,
Yeah.
millions of naira. So they used it to, put up measures. There were donations of food items, and, they also donated equipment to, health workers and all that.
Yeah. Do you see the country transforming to become better? Yeah, there was a pandemic, but did it make the people become closer because they helped each other through this situation? Was there something of such a new revival in your country?
Yeah, actually, the country is trying, to come out, transitioning from the whole pandemic issue. So lots of efforts are being put in place, both from the, government, and from other individuals, trying to, make implementations that will favor both businesses. Governments are now assisting small business owners and all of that, and, trying to, help everyone come out of the crisis, haven't been affected by the whole pandemic issue.
Yeah, for myself to understand, and also to the world to understand the situation of Nigeria, tell us about yourself as an example. How did the government help you, or how did other organizations were able to help you as an individual? Did you receive any help at all?
Oh, series of, an organization was set up to actually, assist small business owners that was affected by the
Yeah,
virus.
yeah.
So I particularly, what I actually engaged in was, I was more of into online business. So
You're
my
doing online
major
business
business was online.
online.
Yeah, so it's actually didn't affect to that extent. It was have affected others particularly.
Okay, not so much affected. All
So
right.
I still had opportunity. I still
Yeah,
had opportunity to get clients and all that.
yeah, yeah. Okay, my final question. Do you feel, what is your own personal feeling as a Nigerian that you're going to see from now to the very near future? What's going to happen with the economic situation and the social situation and the virus situation? Tell us what's your feeling about it?
Yes, the whole issue now, as the country is trying to, handle the whole issue, still maintaining the recommendations from the World Health Organization of, using of face masks, as actually there have not been an identified vaccine to the virus. So meaning that it can have a rehit, to the country. So the government is really taking serious. They are taking measures to make sure that, there is no reheat of the coronavirus to the country. So their constant use of face masks and all that. So, the economy system is not something that, changes, like, changes quickly. So it's something that takes an overtime. So I
Takes a
believe the
time.
government, is putting up measures to resuscitate the economy of the country, to still ensure that everybody has its or get its or her businesses back to normal.
Okay. Can I ask you, what's the number like now in Nigeria? The cases and
Okay,
the
you mean
death
the
rates?
the
Yeah.
cases? Yes, I think I have the figures here with me. There are over over 62,224 confirmed cases in Nigeria.
62,000. Okay.
62,224 confirmed
24.
yes cases in
224.
Nigeria as recorded yes as recorded by NCDC.
What's
So
the
out of the 62,224, there were 57,916 recovered.
recovered? Okay. What about the death rate?
Yeah.
The death rate.
Yeah, 1,135
1,000.
recorded.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's a very good number. Yeah,
135
because
recorded.
Nigeria's got 200 million people, right? The population is about 200 million.
Yes, over 200 million.
200 million, and you only got 62,000 cases. That's very good.
Yeah.
That's very good. I mean, thank God for that. Thank God for that. So it seems that and today, what's your daily rate of positive cases now? The daily rate, like how many do you all get recorded by the hospitals?
Currently, there have not been any. There's not been any, confirmed new confirmed cases currently.
Okay, currently.
To my knowledge, there have not been any new cases currently, to my knowledge. Yes.
So I just want to wish you all the best. Do you have any final um, things you want to share with the world about your own personal feeling that how this will or anything? Just tell us anything that you want to share with us in the world. Is there anything you want to say?
Okay. So yes. So I will send out this message to the world, to probably anybody that this podcast will be reaching to and all that.
Yeah.
So the whole issues, though we all nobody knew that it's going to last to this extent. So I believe people we are actually reacting negatively to the whole issues, as many people lost their job and all that. So what I'm saying is that people should just try and take it easy. Even if your business was affected, you were affected, your loved ones got affected by the virus, probably along the line got died or something like that. That's actually not the end of the world. It happens and all that. So I would say that we actually pray that things like this doesn't occur again, as God helps us to come out from the whole issues and give us a quick recovery.
That's very good. And
Thank you.
I want to wish Nigeria as a country and all the Nigerians as a people to come out strong for the economy and for the people. We all hope that something good will come out of this tragedy, and how people, how this is going to turn out. I hope something good will come out in terms of government policies, right? How the government should help the people. In terms of people coming together to help each other. I hope that something will come out of it positively, that people will wake up. So with that, I just want to wish Nigeria and yourself a lot of wishes from me. And I pray that, and I wish that God will have protection over you and your family and the people of Nigeria. Wonderful. I really want to invite you again on another time to talk about Nigeria and to talk about you as a new Nigeria generation, about who you are, what you represent in this world and in your country. I hope to invite you again.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, that would be good to tell the world more about Nigeria, and just want to let you know that myself, I know very little about Africa. And you know that because every day we look at, we are working for our family, we're working for our boss, and there's so many news out there that's competing. So a lot of us may not have a good understanding of Africa. So maybe coming from you as an African, you know, it's good for you to tell your story and also to tell the world about, to understand more about Nigeria and Africa from you, not from the news, not from National Geographic. You know what I'm trying to say?
No problem at all. I'll be available. Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
thank you so much. I want to wish you and your family all the best. And yeah, this is really good. And hearing it from you, it is firsthand. And I think that the people who are tuning in will get real live information or real life news from a local, from you. So I just want to wish you all the best and do come back, and all the best to you.
Thank you. Anytime at all. I'll be
Yeah,
available.
thank you. We keep in
Bye.
touch. Yeah, we keep in touch again. I will
Yeah.
invite you again